Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cue It Up with the Q Brothers.
That's us.
I miss that. I just love that.
Yeah, every day.
So before we get into our topic of discussion.
What's your name?
My name's John Quattrucci, and you.
And I'm Ralph Quattrucci.
And we invited Steve tonight because it is Steve's birthday today.
58th birthday. We're the same age tonight.
Birthday. So we thought it'd be nice to get him on, celebrate as brothers together. But
bonding.
No, he had no interest.
Yeah, I don't know. What's that say about him or us?
Well, I think it says much more about us.
Maybe.
I don't think. No, I'm kidding. He had plans. That's why he couldn't do it. So, but Steve, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Steve.
Yeah. So, Ralph, I've decided to do a new segment.
Oh boy!
At the beginning of the podcast, and I didn't tell Ralph about it.
Yeah.
You know how good Ralph is off the cuff like this.
Oh boy!
But I want to know anything happening this week with you. Anything going on? Anything you want to talk about that happened this week? Let's stick to this week.
Yes, a couple of things. Two things. Now that you brought it up, I'm glad you brought it up. First of all, I bought something new that I'm going to try to use.
Because you watch Social Dilemma.
No, I'm trying to wean myself off my cell phone,
off your smartphone,
off my mobile phone.
Yeah,
I just feel like I want to try something, so I go to AT&T, get this on my. I have an account with AT&T. No big deal. Give me a flip phone. I take it home. I open up the flip phone. Damn thing has YouTube, Google Maps.
I was going to say, I don't think you can buy. Well, you can buy one of those.
You can. I tried. I have the old Razor.
No, they've got for elderly.
Yeah, the singular with the big giant buttons. I didn't want to go that far.
Well, I don't know.
So
can you get just a flip phone?
You not with the networks the way they are now.
I don't think
you can't just drop it. Yeah, it's really hard. So I'm trying that. So I'm forwarding my mobile phone to this. So when I leave the house, I'm only going to take this. But I can still text from it. There's Google Maps on here. I don't know how that would work. I'm just trying to wean, number one.
And this is all based on what you saw in Social Dilemma.
No, it's just I've been thinking I want to get off I need my phone for work because there's things we have to do there's passwords we have to do to get on through the cell phone. It's just like, I'm trying to wean. It's hard. It's hard. Second thing is I watched on Netflix the American Murder, The Family Next Door.
Yeah, our sister Marie was telling me about that.
And now I'm in the YouTube rabbit hole. I'm sucking in all information that has to do with that case because it's such a weird.
So I assume this is a documentary.
On Netflix, it's a documentary about a husband who murders his wife and two kids. And now I'm getting, and the husband had a girlfriend. So now I'm just watching all this. Now this YouTube stuff's been out for a couple of years. I didn't hear about the case before I saw it on Netflix. Now that I've seen it, I'm just constantly sucking in all the information I can. I like documentaries about murder mysteries. I used to love that show, Unsolved Mysteries. And
well, you, if I remember right, you used to read books on serial killers, didn't you?
Yes, I like crime. I like true crime.
Yeah.
And this one's really good. So that's the rabbit hole I'm in. Trying to do work and do that, it's kind of difficult. So now when I leave the house, I don't have YouTube. Well, I do, but I'm not going to use it on the phone. So maybe I can wean a little.
So going back to weaning off your phone, forget Social Dilemma for a second. Are you just weaning off your phone because you feel like you're on it too much?
Yes.
I don't understand why you're trying to get off the phone.
Yes, because every time there's a break somewhere, if I'm waiting in line somewhere, or just if there's a break, I pull the phone out, I'm looking at news stuff, or I'm looking at whatever. And I just feel like I got to stop. I got to stop doing that. Now, again, I can't completely stop because I need it for work, but and people texting on this is impossible. Although I have to say, there's a Google thing and I can talk the text, which is pretty good. So I told the kids I now have a burner phone, so they have two numbers for me. The regular number and the burner.
You have a burner phone.
But I forwarded that number to this so they can get to me. And
so it's really not a burner phone if other people know it.
Right. I don't want to text as much. I'm trying to. Anyway, part of it is like if I'm standing in line somewhere, I'll just whip it out and start reading. I just want to see if I can. Do
you think you could take the phone away from the kids for like 2 days? Could they be off their phones for 2 days?
Impossible. Impossible.
Wow.
I don't know what they would do with themselves,
You
honestly.
know that there are companies out there that pay people, if you go on vacation, they pay you a bonus if you stay off your devices.
Who pays you?
The company does. The company that, if you go on vacation for these particular companies, and off the top of my head, I can't remember who it was, but there was a couple of them that were doing it. They wanted people to stay off their devices because when they took their devices with them on vacation, they tended to still work. And it made them less productive when they came back. So they wanted them to completely shut off when they went away.
Wait, are you saying a corporation sends somebody on a work?
No, like if I said to them, I'm going to go on vacation for a week, they say, if you stay off your devices, you don't check email, you don't do any of that, we'll give you $3,000, which, you know, some trips it pays for your trip, right?
Yeah.
But it's to your point that people in line, they can't stay off the phones no matter what.
I look around. When you go places, you look around. We're all doing it. So partly that's what I'm trying to see if I can do it. Now, what I've been doing is I've been taking them both with me. So if I get out of the car, I leave the mobile phone in the car.
So you're not ready to take the training wheels off.
I don't want to miss any texts. What if I miss a text? But now I'm going to get to the point where the people I need to text, I'll figure out how to get this text to them if I have to.
Yeah, because it's really only going to work if you leave the other one.
That's what I have to do. But it's
Lock it up.
It's like quitting cigarettes. You can't. Cold turk's hard.
Yeah.
So anyway, what about you? What'd you do this week?
Okay, couple things this week. First,
you couldn't wait to tell me. It sounds like actually.
No, just something I was thinking about. Because every week we're doing something, right? And anyway. So this week I went. I went golfing a couple times with Ma. And our mother is 81 years old. I know she won't mind me saying that because she certainly doesn't look 81. And we were out there, and at one point she was slowing down a little bit. And my initial reaction, because I've golfed so much with her, my first reaction is, just speed it up a little bit. That was my first reaction, right? And then I stopped myself, and I'm going, this woman is 81 years old, and she's out here golfing, a couple times a week, and she looks fantastic, So I kind of slapped myself on the wrist. She's amazing. And I know that there are people out there who, because I post pictures of when we golf on Facebook all the time, and people know how good my mother looks. But to see her out there, in fact, we went with Patty Marie one day. It was really nice to just be out there. Good. But she's amazing. The other thing I did, I actually have to say I watched a couple of baseball games. I watched some of the playoff games, the Dodgers and Houston, Tampa, Dodgers and Atlanta. And it is weird with the cardboard cutouts that they have instead of the fans, but it was good to see good baseball. And those are probably the four best teams that are in the playoffs right now. But it was fun to watch the game.
How many teams are in? Is it four? How many teams?
There's only four left, and this is for the
Who is it? Los Angeles
against Atlanta, and Atlanta's up 3-1.
Wow.
And Tampa and Houston, and Tampa's up 3-2.
How's Mookie doing for LA?
Well, the whole team isn't doing well, but one game they scored 15 runs in the first inning. Dodgers. So, but
I saw something that say where Altuve has the yips.
Well, he's got the yips. What do you mean?
The second baseman. Yeah. He's got the yips. He's throwing a ball. He's like Tampa Bay scouted him. Tampa Bay scouts scouted him and told all their batters, run to first base as fast as you can, because there's a chance he's going to throw the ball away, and he's thrown it away 3 times last game.
Really?
Like Steve Sachs, remember that whole thing where he couldn't? Chuck Knobloch couldn't throw the ball from second base.
We had a pitcher. Who the hell is a pitcher? He couldn't throw to first base.
John Lester.
No, there was another guy too.
Throw it underhand.
Yeah, he couldn't do that.
But Altuve has the yips right now.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well, karma's a bitch.
Karma's a bitch.
And
we'll see. They're up what? They're 3-2 now.
Tampa's up 3-2, and they got their best pitcher pitching tonight.
All right. Well,
so
and now you're rooting for Tampa. It's good.
Yeah, I am, and I like Tampa. They've got no payroll. Kevin Cash is an ex-Red Sox player. He's their coach, and I really like him. So,
what about the Patriots? I heard they shut down their practice today because of COVID.
Today? Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that their center. Actually, I think it's their backup center has been placed on the COVID list.
So what do? They missed a game last weekend, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to play it this weekend. I don't know. I mean, they go a couple of days with no positive tests, and then all of a sudden they get a positive test.
How's everybody feeling up there about the Patriots without Tom Brady?
I think it's funny because look, everyone was bummed out when he left. Nobody wanted him to leave. But Cam Newton, and I've never been a big Cam Newton fan because I don't like the off the field stuff. But he's been fun to watch, and he's giant. I don't know if you watch the games, but he's a lot bigger than I thought he was, and he's brought something different to the team. Look, for 20 years they've had a drop back passer.
Right
now they got a quarterback that the team has to look out for. Right, we've never really had that. My only fear is going to get killed.
By we, you mean who we? You say we? Is that Patriots? When you said we?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Patriot. I know. I hate when people do that too.
Yeah, well.
Patriot Nation is happy with it. So they're not getting beat up at all. I think the expectations are not very high this year. So I think whatever they get's a good thing. And I'm rooting for Tom Brady. I want him to do well.
Yeah.
But he's not in the AFC North anymore. He's got New Orleans. He's got
a tough
I was going to say Atlanta, but big deal.
Who did he lost to? Who did he lose to last week?
They lost to was it the Chargers? No, I can't remember. And he lost. He didn't know how many downs there were. Of course, he got beat up over that on social media.
Yeah, well, he is old.
He is old, but he's still good. He's still one of the 10 best quarterbacks. So
yeah,
what are you going to do? Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, so I was thinking about what we could do for a topic this week, and frankly. So just to give you a little background, after 9/11, and I'm going way back, my philosophy, which has always been pretty upbeat and positive, changed a little bit. And one of the things that changed for me was you never know if tomorrow's going to be your last day, right? And my philosophy had changed to I'm going to have no regrets. When I'm finally gone, when I finally leave this world, I'm not going to say, well, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. So I started to really look at a bucket list. Now you think 2001, that's 20 years ago. I was 30 something, whatever it was. So I was still young to be thinking bucket list, but I started thinking bucket list. Now with COVID, people are passing away, but like our cousin John, who is, I think your age or Steve's age, just passed.
Well, Steve and I are the same age right now.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't COVID, but that's relatively young. A friend of my sister's who was, I think, in his 40s, passed away. He had his own issues, but the lockdown didn't help him at all, and it kind of led to that. So I really started to think about bucket lists. And I often ask my wife, because she knows my bucket list, because we've done a lot of them. And I always ask her, what's your bucket list? And she never really comes up with anything because she feels like, well, we've done a lot of things that I really wanted to do through your bucket list. So Ralph, I want to know from you, because that's the one thing we've never had a conversation about. Is there something out there that you want to do, or something that was on your list that you did that, again, at the end of all this, you can say no regrets. I did it. I'm happy I did it. Anything. I don't even know if you even have it.
I'm not going to go to the end saying no regrets. That's number one. I got a lot of regrets. But I don't care. I mean, I live my life. I don't have a bucket list. I don't want a bucket list. I don't think I need a bucket list because my head I can't wrap my head around the ability to have a bucket list. Like I'm in this mode of just trying to get through every day. Retirement is not even something I could think about based on all the stuff that's happened in my life and the couple of divorces and houses I've lost and things like that. So a bucket list is like it's something I can't even reach for. So
well, maybe bucket list isn't the right word, because I mean
there's nothing. I'm just going to say this. I don't want to skydive off the Himalayas, or I don't want to swim with sharks. I don't have a bucket list. What I try to do is because I don't want to. The regret would be if I have this wish and I never do it, then I'm going to have that regret at the end. Like, Jesus, why would I think I could go do this thing and I never did it? I just try to live every day like everything's going to be fine. And ultimately my goal, not that it's ever going to happen, I really just this sounds so stupid, but I just love driving around and taking pictures. And I'm not saying taking pictures of anything famous, or just taking pictures, kids, stuff I see, Niagara Falls. I took a trip to Niagara Falls, and on the drive, I ran into a couple of drive-in movie theaters that weren't open at the time. Stop, take pictures of that. That's all I think about. I think about if I had time, I want to be like Ansel Adams, where I just drive around and put my tripod up on my car and take pictures of stuff. That's it. I really can't. The thought of a bucket list does absolutely zero for me. Nothing.
So there's not like, okay, since you bring up photography, so there's no place you'd like to go to, like in your head, you go, I would love to go this place and take pictures.
I see, like, when I was on my mobile phone looking at stuff, because I don't do that anymore, as we know.
Since yesterday.
I see the world's most photographic beach in Mexico, right? And it's a cave or whatever. Of course, I would love to go stand in that place and take pictures. Grand Canyon. I've been in the Grand Canyon. I would love to go to the Grand Canyon again, take pictures. I just can't have that thought, because my thought now is get my kids out of school, get through work, just try to get through every day. And I don't want to waste time having the thought that, oh, I should be doing that, because I just know I'm not going to. But yeah, of course, I look at something and go, wow, it'd be awesome to go there and just spend a week.
But that's okay. So even though it might not happen, I mean, where's a place you'd like to go to?
I just said some beach in Mexico.
Okay, but is there a trip you'd like to go on? Look, if everything lined up perfectly.
No, I would love to spend, I don't know. No, honestly, no. There's nothing specific.
God, you and I
don't want to see every baseball field, I don't want to go to every stadium. I'd love to, maybe. No, I know it's like it's an uncreative mind to not be able to.
No, it's not that. It's just,
it's a way of looking at it. I can't let myself have that thought, because I just don't think
so. You don't want to have it because you'll be disappointed if it doesn't happen?
I'm happy with things that happen in my life every day. Things that tiny little things that happen every day just keep me going to the next time.
Because I thought
friends maybe right now Zoom happy hours that I do with friends.
Easy. That was too easy.
What'd you say?
What I was just going to say was going to be too easy, so I'm not going to say it.
Well, let me see. Let me hear it.
I was going to say maybe one of the bucket list things was to, break the record for, marriages. But I didn't want to say that because
what's that record? Tell me what it is. See, I wouldn't even know.
I think Elizabeth Taylor had 8. Is that what it was?
8. I have yeah, that would be tough to break.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm kind of surprised.
So do you have stuff left on your bucket list if you guys have done that? What's on your bucket list?
Well, look, first of all, because I've been golfing for so long, part of my bucket list is golfing certain courses, and I've golfed quite a few, like Pebble Beach. I've golfed. That was a bucket list. Pinehurst, number 2. That was a bucket list. Golfing in Ireland, big one. I want to golf St. Andrews in Scotland. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I would love to golf there. Now, here's one. I don't know if you watch this tournament or not, but it's the Players Championship, and it's Pinehurst down in Florida, and they've got that island green, the famous island green. So first time ever, we went on a trip after Christmas. We never did that. So we went down to Florida. We went to St. Augustine at the World Golf Village, and part of the thing was play Pinehurst, which is, the TPC Sawgrass, which is a big bucket list thing. So Mom, Dad, me, and Rose, we go down there. So we got 10 o'clock tee times. We get there at 8 o'clock so we can really get the ambiance of the place. And this is the week after Christmas. Keep that in mind. So we go to the golf course, and there's a frost delay. And there's probably 100 people there. So we go in the restaurant there. We have breakfast. We're just taking in the ambiance of the place because they got a beautiful clubhouse. So then at about 9:30, the head guy comes into the restaurant where we all were. By the way, the temperature is 38 degrees. The course is closed for the day. There will be no golfing on the course today. So we didn't get to play it. And I bought a jacket, and I don't like to do that when I don't play the course. But so that was a real bummer. I'd still like to play that course. Now, Ralph and I, there's a course in, where is that course? It's not Baltimore. Renditions. Is that in Virginia?
Maryland.
And
Davidsonville, Maryland.
It's replica holes. And one of the holes is TP Sawgrass, hole number 17. So we did kind of get to play it, but it wasn't the same thing. Now, I do have I want to see every ballpark, every baseball ballpark in the country. And as of right now, and I'm not counting the new Yankee Stadium, because I went to the old one. I haven't been to the new one, so I don't count that. So here's what I have left. Oakland, and they're getting a new stadium. Cleveland, the Jake, I haven't been to that one. Philadelphia, the Mets, I think it's Citi Field, and the new New York and the new Mariners. But I've been to every other ballpark. So that's a big deal for me. I want to do that before I die. I also wanted to be in I traveled for work for a long time. I wanted to travel to every state. So I did that. I traveled to 50 states. Alaska was the trickiest one. I did a meeting there, and I was there for just about 48 hours, which is pretty much in and out. And someone said to me, well, how was Alaska? I go, well, it was like every other Hampton Inn I've ever been in, because I didn't really leave much. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. I wanted to scuba dive. That was a bucket list thing. I did that. I only took hotel certification, nothing big. But it was great, a great experience. I love it. I would do it again. People say, well, I snorkel. Snorkeling and scuba diving is not even close to being the same thing. I wanted to go to a World Series game, which I did. I went to game 1 of 2004 Red Sox. And then when they played St. Louis in 2013, I went to St. Louis for that game. And the other one, I always wanted to go to a Super Bowl. I don't think that'll ever happen, though, like if the Patriots are in it. Because my problem with that is you spend so much money to go to that thing, and it is expensive. And if they lost, like you brought it up last week when the Giants beat them, if I went to that game, all I would have thought about the whole way home is, I can't believe how much money I spent on this game.
Right.
So I don't want – it's not like the World Series where – in fact, the game I went to, they lost, but they still ended up winning the series. It's not like that in the Super Bowl. I think maybe if I don't even know. Would I go to it if the Patriots weren't in it? Then you don't have any skin in the game, and then who cares? So you get the experience. I don't know. But like Patty went to the Atlanta New England game, and I called her up at halftime. And, we were all sick to our stomachs here. Mm. And I said, well, how's it going? We're not even watching the show. It's miserable. It's awful. Well, then they ended up winning the game, and they had seats 10 rows off the field where the winning touchdown was scored. So they had the cell phone taking the video of it. So, that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But, a lot of it's golf. I always wanted to get a hole-in-one, and you can ring the bell if you – oh, no, that's for our other podcast. I got a hole-in-one this year. So – that's a big deal for me because I've come real close a bunch of times, and my wife Rose got one 7 years ago, and she's held it over my head all this time, and I finally got one. But, there's some golf courses, the real famous golf courses I'd love to hit if possible. But I will tell you this, and I get what you're saying to a degree, but I feel like if I were gone tomorrow, I feel like I've done a lot of like playing ball at Fenway Park. Did you ever think you would get to play baseball at Fenway Park, Ralph?
Yeah, but no.
Wow. Yeah, well, you were in the Hall of Fame.
When I'm 11 years old and I got the Hall of Fame at 13,
that's true.
I'm
but
going
that
places.
Was always a dream of mine. I never thought would have happened. And through osmosis, it happened.
Yeah.
So that to me is like that was a bucket list thing that in my head I wanted to do, but knew it was never going to happen. Right. So the fact that it happened was fantastic.
I forget. Did we know when we signed up for that we'd be playing at Fenway when we signed up for?
I don't. I think
that came.
That must have been. I would have to think that that's part of the PR for the camp. Yeah. So I'm sure we probably knew. So, but to me, that was like, fantasy camp was wonderful. We went 3 times, but getting out there and playing in that field was like, you're in awe. Ted Williams was out here. That was like something I never thought would happen. Now, the last one that I want to do, and I've told you before, I've done a lot of theater in my life. The one role I've always wanted to play, and now I'm too old for it, unfortunately, is Harold Hill in The Music Man. And I always said, I got to figure out a way to do it so I can play that part. And now I'd be Buddy Hackett. If you saw the movie, I'd be Buddy Hackett. I would not be Harold Hill. But
Why don't you just sweeten it up and do your own? Do your own.
Well, you know what? I've often thought about producing it myself.
Put older people around you so you're young. I mean, you got to figure out how to do that. It's not that
yeah, but
complicated.
it's a younger part. Although I could probably still do it. But I've known the songs from the Music Man since I was in high school.
Now, are you going to regret? Is that on your deathbed? You're going to go, I just wish I could have played the Music Man?
I've had a lot of great roles in musical theater. Really great roles. That's the one that that's the one I've always wanted to do. And really because of Robert Preston in the movie, because he was so good and the part is so good. But
I mean, what's clear to me, given the way all the things you're describing, is you definitely can tell who has the kids and who doesn't have the kids.
No denying it.
And like I remember I made such a big deal about taking the kids to Niagara Falls one March, which turns out is off season at Niagara Falls, which I didn't know because I'm an idiot. And I drive all the way to, and again, like I said, as I'm driving to Niagara Falls, I'm stopping at places, taking pictures. I'm living a dream, my bucket list. I just love Niagara Falls. I love running water, blah, blah, blah.
We went there as kids.
Yes. Yeah. I get there. Kids looked at it for 5 minutes, couldn't care less. So my big fear is I say, hey, my bucket list is I want to take all my kids to the Grand Canyon. And I get that reaction. If I get that reaction, like Vacation, where they stand on the rim and they go, all right, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this question, because we went to Niagara Falls as kids.
Yep.
And it was great. We loved it. We went on the Maid of the Mist. We did it.
Yeah, but kids are different.
But that's what I want to know. Why?
I don't know why. Because they don't care about stuff. They don't. I mean,
well, again,
I'm only speaking from my children.
Does it go back to the devices?
Stop with the devices. No. It goes back to like, I am not a father who takes my kids camping and get them all interested in outdoor stuff, right? So it's kind of a reflection of who I am and what I don't do or do. No, it has nothing to do with the devices. The devices aren't the excuse for everything that's going on with these kids. It's just not.
So then why did we as kids?
Because we had nothing else to do. If you remember those days.
Whoa. Nothing else to do? Like what? Like what else do they have to do?
We were able to entertain ourselves more than these kids. And yes, it has to do with the information that they have now, whether it's on a tablet or phone, whatever the reason for it.
So it comes back to the devices.
Okay, whatever. But just, I mean.
Well, like, did you do like the Maid of the Mist and all that stuff?
In March, I told you it's off season. There was
what does that mean? Is everything closed?
It's like going to Cape Cod in October. What goes on at Cape Cod in October? Nothing. The only people there are townies. That's it. So we're looking at this. I love it because there was a little bit of snow, so I'm seeing, caked on snow. It was raining. One of the days we were there was pouring. You couldn't even see the falls. You're looking out, you can't even see anything. My glasses broke. Those poor kids. But no, it's
so
it's just different.
So you won't take them to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, of course I would. If I could afford getting them all out there, I would definitely do it.
But do you think they'd enjoy it?
I hope so. I don't really know. We don't have the same, like, I would enjoy it because, again, I look at everything through my lens. Really. That's all I do is thinking about.
Literally.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
But when I'm thinking of things, I think about how can I get a good picture of whatever it is, what angle, whatever. I don't know if they think like that. Now, Bella has told me she would love to go to the Grand Canyon. I think the idea of it, they're really into. I just think when I get there, they'd be like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, okay, I'll say they're probably going to be sitting on the edge looking at their phones. I don't know. But it has, I'm not a traveler, right? I'm not a traveler. I don't like to pack up and go places. So again, it's a reflection on who I am and how I handle things. And I like to be at home. If you look in this room, I mean, yeah, COVID causes all this, but I'm just surrounded by things that make me comfortable. It's a little cluttered. It's a little haphazard, but it makes me feel good. And I feel like when I'm working, I have things around me that make me feel comfortable. So that's what I mean, the idea of a bucket list. Because when you have kids, your perspective is always through their eyes. And you try to get them interested in things that interest you. And when it doesn't happen, it's a little disconcerting. And it's kind of like, literally 10 minutes after we're at Niagara Falls, they're like, okay, what else can we do? They're not even appreciating what the heck they're looking at. one of the, I don't know if it's an eighth wonder of the world, but it's pretty cool.
So wait, I have a Grand Canyon story for you. So when I lived in California, so I drove to California and we stopped off at the Grand Canyon. And I had a nice 35 millimeter camera. I think it was a Minolta Maxim. Do you remember those?
I don't know.
It was nice. It was, but it was a film camera. It wasn't digital. So me and the guy I drove over with went to the Grand Canyon. I took 3 rolls of film, beautiful pictures, and it was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. I was in awe of it. So I bring it to a little place down the street to get it developed from where I lived. And I'm super excited because I was a big picture taker back then. And I go to pick up my pictures and I say, yeah, Quattrucci, can I? Oh yeah, we had a problem with the machine. I said, well, what happened? All your negatives get stripped.
Oh,
Go, what does that mean?
That's
yeah, they're all blank.
Oh
but
my God.
Listen, we felt bad. So here's 3 free rolls of film.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there with a lump in my throat. I was so looking
It's a
forward
nightmare.
to seeing. And I've never been back since.
Yeah.
With all the traveling I've done, I've never gone back.
Yeah, I got to put up a fancy shot of me while I get my other glasses. Hang on. These are too reflective. Look at that, huh?
Wow, Ralph. Damn. I'm switching angles on that one, Ralph. How old is that picture? Holy shnikey. You look like Sean in that picture. Where are you going for these? Wow. Hey, how about you guys out there?
That looks like I could try out for the Music Man with that shot.
You look like Sean.
Sean who?
Sean from our other podcast.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that angle.
Not really, but okay.
There you go. I see what you're saying about having kids, because that definitely. I mean, I couldn't have done. I'm not going to say I couldn't have done any of the stuff, but I probably couldn't have done half the stuff I did if I had kids. I wouldn't probably want to.
And to be honest, as you said, I've had a few marriages and divorces in my life, so things are a little bit chaotic. I can't, I haven't been able to save. I haven't, I'm just working. I'm a worker bee. I just work every day. So the thought of having a vacation, I don't even think about vacation, honestly. Every once in a while I'll wake up and go. That's
not fair. You go to a beach place every year.
Every once in a while I'll wake up and go, okay, I'm going to try to get a week off in July, try to put something together. But again, my brain doesn't, I think day to day. I don't think long term, and I get through the day. It's not like I'm, I got to get through the day. It's not like that.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
It's just like, I'm generally a happy guy.
I'm also lucky that my wife and I have a lot of the same interests.
Well, that helps a lot.
So especially with the golf. I mean, every trip we ever go on, is there a golf course there also, no matter where we go. So it's nice because I know a lot of guys that just won't golf with their wives. They don't like to golf with their wives.
Let me ask you, do you ever do anything that she wants to do?
Well, I ask, but she always says well, we're already doing it. I've asked her. I mean, I really have. I swear to you, I have. But
a couple of times or a lot?
A lot. I do, because I say, let's do what you want to do. Right. Where do you want to go? Well, because I usually do all the arranging. She goes, no, I trust you. I trust you. So, and she's never said I haven't enjoyed myself. I mean, I think we went to see. I dragged her to see the monkeys
at the zoo.
The monkeys
at the zoo, or
no, the music.
Oh, the band.
Yeah, and she's not a Monkees fan, but she went.
Right.
And they came back, and I said, do you want to go with me? She goes, maybe you should ask Marie to go. I think she'd probably like it. So she's a trooper. I mean, she sometimes she sucks it up, probably more than I do. But yes, in fact, I asked her tonight because I knew we were going to talk about this. I go, is there something out there that you want to do that we can go do? She goes, no, she said, actually what she said to me was, I've done more in my life than I ever thought I would ever done.
Oh.
And I said, that's because you hit the lottery.
Oh, is that true? Huh.
Well, no.
Interesting.
I have definitely hit the lottery, but yeah, she hit it.
Who got more out of this relationship, you or her?
Oh, me. Please.
Oh, look that's a good, quick answer.
It's not because it's the truth. I mean, I married up. I'm married up.
Good.
Because if it's funny because we split up. I can't believe we're getting into this, but we split up at one point. And
after you were married?
No. That's not that's not my DNA. But anyway, no, before we got married, because I wasn't ready to get married.
Right.
So we split up over it because she wanted to get married, and I just wasn't ready for that. And I remember, and I did not want that. I did not want that. I did not. Yeah, I did not want to split. But but the truth was, I wasn't ready to get married. And if you go into a marriage thinking you're not ready to get married, that's probably not good. Huh. So what I remember, though, I'm in my house, and at the time I was living in a condo, and I had all these Superman statues all over the place. And I remember sitting there thinking, what the hell am I waiting for? This girl puts up with a 13-year-old, and I'm looking for what? And what ended up happening was someone said to me, well, how come you're not ready to get married? I said, because it's not perfect. I remember saying that. And he said to me, it's never perfect. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? This is the best thing I've ever had. What am I looking for? And that's when at that point I was like, yeah. And it wasn't that quick as far as getting back together. But once we got back together, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get married. Because I got married later. I got married at 36.
That's smart.
Yeah. Well, look, here's the thing. When you get married young, you grow
about
up
to jump
together.
up on my computer.
Right. What?
My cat's about to jump up on the computer.
You grow up
young. What happens?
You grow up together, right? You grow together. You become different people together. Right. Well, because we got married so late in life, we were who we were.
Already shaped.
It's not like we were changing.
It sounds like Rose, I think, played that right. I think she got what she needed. I think maybe you were on her bucket list, and you just had to see that. I think it's probably the lesson.
Listen, it was I wasn't happy about it when it happened, but
who split who?
She split with me, but I couldn't. I was not ready to get married. I just wasn't, and it took. I don't know. It didn't take that long. It took probably a year. Then we ended up getting engaged. But and I told her that I said, I love you. I don't want to be with anybody else. I'm just not ready to get married. Because for me, that was a big, big step. You know what I mean? Because being with somebody is one thing. Living with them 24/7 with all the stuff that goes with that's different. But I got to the point where, yeah, you know what? This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So what the hell am I waiting for? And I think it was smart that we waited. But as a result of that, the family thing didn't happen. And we talked about this before. I regret that sometimes, but I got to be honest, I don't regret it that much. Oh, what's the cat's name?
Bart.
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 What a pretty cat.
He's a good cat, but he's a pain.
Oh, wow.
He wants attention, but he doesn't give any attention.
Well, that's
a cat.
That's a lot of women.
You seem bitter.
Not me.
I'm not bitter. I'm still a relationship guy. I'm a spark chaser.
You are a spark chaser.
And Ralph,
if we're going to throw that term out there, since I've opened up a little bit, I think we need to define for the audience exactly what a spark chaser is.
I think it's obvious.
I don't. How would you explain it?
It's someone who likes the
chase?
Spark when you meet somebody the first time. It's like an amazing
excitement
thing.
Of the
key is to keep that going. The key is to be with somebody who and I'm not saying anything, but it's a hard thing to keep. Well, kids throw all that off anyway. Kids are definitely spark putter outers, whatever, spark dullers. But yeah, definitely. I'm still I'm 58 and I've been married 3 times and I'm still.
Well, I mean,
open.
Technically, you're 59 because next month you're going to be 59.
I'm 58.
So you might as well just say it.
I'm 58.
In fact, you might as well just say you're 60 because it's out there.
No, I'm 58 until November. So that's it. Me and Steve are the same age right now. My Irish twin.
But that's true. Yeah. Everybody's like that. Everyone likes the courtship. I look at mom and dad who October 31st, it's going to be 60 years.
29.
No, 60.
October 29th.
Oh, 29th. Oh, sorry. Don't ever correct me again. Can you fix that in post?
Even when you're wrong. No. Do
Even
this.
when I'm wrong.
Say what? 29.
29. October 29th.
I'll edit that in.
Okay.
I'm not going to edit that in.
And every now and then, mine and I have a conversation.
Halloween's October 31st.
That's true. That's what I got mixed up. I'm sorry, mom and dad, because right now they're a nightmare. But anyway,
Listen, when you live with somebody that long, what do you expect is going to happen?
we're not meant to live together that long.
Oh my God, we're supposed to be dead at 45.
So
Get your kids out, and
I
drop
totally
dead.
get
Now
that.
it's 85 years old.
I know, and
Yeah.
it's hard, and it is hard, and it's hard to keep that spark alive all the time. So but it is what it is. So all right, so this I don't know how long this went, but this was kind of a short one because frankly you didn't have any bucket list.
Okay, bucket list because I didn't have
No,
anything.
you don't
on my
have
bucket
to.
list.
I mean, you gave a fair, I might not agree with all of it, but you gave a fairly cogent explanation about why you don't have one.
I want to talk about the most favorite day I've ever had with you. And it has to do with golf, and it has to do with me not playing well. I don't care about that. It's that tournament that we signed up for here 3 years ago. And you and Steve came down a day early to practice, and we reserved a golf place, and we were gonna.
And we had matching uniforms.
Yeah, we were all in. We were gonna golf on a Saturday, I think. It was a great tournament when they used to do them. A lot of alcohol, a lot of games
and a beautiful golf course.
Beautiful course, but it happened to be the year that the Potomac flooded. And it rained like hell the day before the tournament. So we decided to just golf anyway. And the golf course we signed up for was closed because of the flooding, but we found one in Virginia that was still open. And we played in the pouring rain.
Wait. We went to the first course, and there's a big chain across the entrance, closed due to the Potomac.
Right.
So I find a course close by, and I call them up, and I say, "Are you guys open? And do you have any tee times available?" We got wide open. Come on over. And now we know why they were wide open.
We were the only ones on the course.
There was not one other group on this course. And after about the sixth hole, I think that was about the sixth hole, it was a monsoon. June 3rd, 2018. My brother Steve and I came down for a vacation. Beautiful Leesburg, Virginia. You can see some of the bozos I'm playing with. Okay. It's lovely. It's pouring. But
how are we looking here?
We're looking good. We're looking good.
A little blurry.
I think it's slowing down.
It feels like
I definitely feel like it's slowing. What do you guys think? Is it slowing down?
437.
Is this not slowing down?
437.
It's slowing down?
Nah, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah. This is a dogleg, right? I mean, it was
like Caddyshack.
We got to show some of the stuff from it. So I've got some footage that Ralph can edit into it. But one of the things that was so funny was on the turn, because I couldn't hold on to the club anymore. The grips were just too wet. I mean, it was you just can't even, when you see it, you're not going to.
You were putting into a full cup of water.
Yeah, the cup was full, and you were leaving a streak on the green from the water.
Rolling.
The hole's underwater.
Wait, whoa. Go, now pick it up.
That's insanity.
That's a par. So I go in and I buy those waterproof golf gloves, but they only had smalls. So I said, well, let me try it on. So I put it on. It was a little snug, but I'm like, okay, I can use this. So we play the next hole, and I'm using my gloves, and beautiful, nice and dry. We finish the hole, and I'm going, geez, my fingers are like tingling. I don't know. I pull both the gloves off. My hands are purple. The circulation was completely cut off. But
it was the worst elements. It was the worst, and we hit the ninth hole, and we go, all right, we know this. We know today sucks. Okay, it's raining, but at least we have the tournament tomorrow. Ring, ring, ring. Hello.
While we're playing,
tournament's been canceled.
Yeah.
So we're on the ninth hole, and it just.
So we finished. We played 18 holes in the monsoon.
It was awesome. I just loved that day because it was just
the next day we went to Renditions.
Right.
And we played there. Right, so it was and that's the night I stayed at your house.
Yeah. Yeah,
instead of a hotel.
I remember that.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was good. That was probably on your bucket list, right?
Well, I can tell you.
And you know what? Think about this. If you didn't have your mobile phone, you wouldn't have seen all those bugs in the room.
See, I wasn't.
You never would have seen them.
I will say this: that out of all the things I wanted to do in my life, That isn't even one that I thought of, but I
Well,
did it, so I crossed
Again,
that
if you
right
didn't
off.
have the mobile
And it was
phone,
nice of you to invite me over
you
there.
never would have
Steve.
seen the bugs.
And
in
Steve
your
loved it because Steve
So-
loves everything because he's so
that was
good.
that was a happy weekend. Except
Actually, that was a great weekend. Actually,
one of the people in the party I haven't
Well-
heard from since that day. But whatever.
well, that's a whole nother issue.
That's
Ralph
another-
was very good
that's
friends
my
with this
bucket
guy,
list.
and now he got ghosted.
So that wasn't on my bucket list, but it's a day I remember just how much I had so much fun that day. I don't even know why, because it was miserable. It was so rainy. It was so wet.
Well, it was also, I mean, it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, we were
It
laughing.
was absurd. It was
Yeah,
absurd.
it was absurd.
And
That's a
how much did we pay for that?
Well,
one?
that
Do you
was the
remember?
other thing. So I didn't even ask what the price was for the course, and I think the first course we were going to play was $49, and this one was it 89?
No, 100.
Oh, 100.
109.
So when we got up to the counter,
I never paid.
and the guy goes, "It's 109 each," and all of a sudden I heard behind me,
That was me. Like what?
it was Pat too.
right.
I mean, it was that other guy. I don't want to
Yeah.
say his name.
What the?
But
F?
I also
$100.
felt like because they're the ones who booked the tea time at the first course that was closed. So I said,
Not
hey,
they. He did.
yeah, the other guy.
At least we got to drive carts around in the water. It was. I
Yeah,
just
it-
had a great time.
It was crazy.
And then we had a great weekend because we just started plugging in other places and golf. We golfed a lot that week.
We ended up playing
Sligo, we did 18 at Sligo.
I was going to say we ended up playing 3 rounds, right?
That's on your bucket list, right? Sligo?
And I lit it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I also heard a new term. I learned a new term at that course. So
That's right.
Ralph, this course called Sligo, which is
Sligo, SLIGO.
How do you pronounce it?
The oldest course in Montgomery County,
It's a
Maryland.
9-hole course.
9 holes.
But so what happened was, so Ralph plays it all the time. And all I kept hearing was, John, I'm getting better. You better watch out. My home course.
I'm terrible.
So I go out there with these guys, and they would put one in the woods, and then they would say, Sligo golf. And just
Sligo
drop-
rules.
Sligo rules. Just drop another ball.
Right.
So they were doing
I
that
don't
all
see the
day.
problem.
So
I don't
I'm
see-
like, okay, well, that's fine. Now, I
John's
didn't play
playing by
that
the
way.
rules. What are you guys doing?
I did not play that way. I just wanted
Yeah.
to know that. But it was fun. It was actually fun. And frankly, I shot really well that day.
Yeah, you always, And
And that's part of the reason
you're a
why I
golfer.
think his buddy there left, because I lit it up.
Maybe.
Lit it up.
Maybe.
250 yards.
I think he
and
left
they're
too
laying up.
because I was slowly getting better. When I first started golfing with him, I was terrible. And I started coming chipping away. I think he was getting nervous.
You were
Or
getting
not.
more competitive.
I might have been. But when you can drop a ball anywhere, who cares?
Well,
right?
that's true. But as long as you have to state.
My favorite part of the whole weekend is,
Sligo.
we'd stick those GoPros up in the carts, and I would take the movies home, and Steve and John would be talking about me on the GoPro while they're driving between
Oh
holes.
wait, that wasn't the same weekend.
That was
That was
that's-
actually at the
that's-
tournament.
that was
so-
the year before.
Yeah. So
Ah.
so what happened
I love
was
that.
Steve and Ralph said something like Ralph often does.
Religion based.
That surprised us because we were raised Catholic, and Ralph is
Not.
Lift up your hat, Ralph, and show him the 666.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was saying something about religion, anti-religion, and we got a GoPro in my cart pointing to us, and unbeknownst to me, it's recording. I forgot to shut it off. So we're talking about Ralph.
Are you weirdly religious?
Don't, you know what? Don't even,
I know it.
don't even
I know
freaking
it.
get me going in that, please.
I feel that he has to.
He has to what?
Justify.
Get a life?
So I give Ralph all my footage. I haven't looked at any of it.
Pat, nice
So
try.
he sends me an email or text me or something.
Justification
He goes,
for not having-
you guys are kind of ragging on me in the car. I go, what are you talking about, Ralph? He goes, yeah, I saw the video. And then I looked at it. I said, well, Ralph, let's be honest about something. Is this anything I wouldn't say to your face? He goes, well,
It's not the
that's
same.
true.
No, it's not the
But
same.
it was,
Sorry.
it was like, oops, we got caught.
Yeah.
That was
Nailed
pretty
you.
funny though.
But
And he did also steal. They had a little box with teas in it, and he took, you put food in one of those plastic things. He went in and took all the teas and stuck them in this plastic thing. So I didn't feel that's not golf etiquette.
I got that on camera, by the way.
I still got it.
Well,
I still got it. I
you've
still
got
have a few of
5
those
years
left.
worth.
That was 3 or 4 years ago.
You got to boy. That's a. Now let me.
Yeah,
ask
so
you this.
like going to playing golf is not on my bucket. I see
No,
again.
but let me
now
ask you a
get me
question.
thinking.
As far as it doesn't even have to be a bucket list. Now that you golf, you have golfed more frequently.
Right.
is there a score that you'd like to hit? Would you like to break 90? Would you like to break
care.
100?
I'd much rather bowl
Okay.
280. I'd
Okay.
much rather bowl a 600 series in bowling than.
Okay, well, that's something.
Yeah.
So that's something you can shoot for, right? Because your golfing is bad. You're not going to break.
My golfing's bad. I've been bowling for longer than I've been golfing, and I'm not getting any better.
You're not getting better bowling?
A little bit.
Oh.
A little bit. I've changed my approach a little bit, but
Well,
our
you
team's
still
in first
not
place. I
put
don't know
your
how we're
thumb
doing
in?
it. We're in first place.
You
What?
still not put your thumb in?
No, you're talking about bowling now?
No, golf.
Oh, I thought you were talking something else. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Now that's on my bucket
There's
list.
something wrong with.
This is for Mom. I got to do one dirty thing a week for Mom, so she knows I'm dirty. I bowl normal, traditional ball. I'm not
I
a.
thought you didn't put the thumb in.
No. All the guys on my team are two-hand bowlers.
Two hand?
No thumb, two hands.
I don't think I've ever
Like
seen
that guy from Australia. I
that
forget his
guy,
name.
yeah. Because
That
I
guy.
watched
Well,
a lot of bowling.
He's the number one bowler in.
Well,
bowling.
I guess if you watch bowling, you would know about that.
That's right. So
You watch bowling?
sometimes, yeah. PBA, they get it all jacked up. It's good.
Yeah,
They're doing all kinds of
I
stuff.
mean, I've seen on ESPN where they got all.
You know what's on
E?
ESPN now?
Cornhole.
Cornhole tournaments.
I know, which is stupid.
But to watch the way those guys spin those things, I'm learning something.
know. All right. Well, listen. That was it. I'm. It's so interesting that we're from the same loins and we think so.
And
differently.
womb, loins and womb.
Loins and womb. But I guess you're right. I guess if I had kids, I'm sure it'd be a lot different. I'm sure.
No, there's a lot of people who I know friends of mine who travel with their kids. It has to do financially too. I can't afford to.
No, I get that.
To put 5 kids in a plane or 3 kids, whatever it is. It's hard. I have to think through everything I do. So, and they crushed me at Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls kind of was a turning point when I realized that they're looking at this and going, all right.
Because we really did. I remember that trip vividly, and we really had a good time on that trip. So you want your kids to experience what you experienced, and they're like, you know what? It's all right.
Well, if you remember growing up, we didn't do anything else. We never left the house because we had enough to do at the house. We talked about all the wiffle ball, the ice hockey, whatever it is.
We didn't go on a lot of trips.
No, not a lot of trips. So, of course, that was exotic for us to go. The Florida trips we did, the trip to Niagara Falls. These
Amish
kids,
country.
They're a lot more spoiled than we were. They get.
Yeah, that's true.
They get more stuff than we ever had.
Yeah, and they also do a lot.
Christmas
they do a lot
is
more
year-round.
traveling on their own than we ever.
I mean, if you remember, we were dressed like ragamuffins all year. Christmas was the only time I think we got toys, right? I mean, I don't think we got them throughout the year.
Let's not get where this isn't the.
I'm not
cast of
saying, but
Oliver.
I'm just saying these kids, they're treated like it's Christmas
that's
all year long.
true. That is true. But we weren't ragamuffins. I mean,
You saw those pictures.
but that's not. I mean, that's not accurate. That's not fair to mom and dad.
Okay.
But you're right. I mean,
Where do you think I learned the word ragamuffin? You think I came up with
these
that?
kids have a lot more than we ever had, but it's not like we. And I know I've said this a few times, but we didn't know we didn't have anything.
Right.
Do
Well,
you know
of
what I
course.
mean?
That's what I mean.
And the
They
trips
know
we
they
went
don't
on,
have it.
right?
I live in an area where people live in houses the size of the White House practically.
Right.
I drop my kids off when I used to drop them off at play dates. They're like, oh my God. They know what they don't have or what somebody else has.
Right.
So,
well,
and I don't, I don't have regret. I regret some things I did in my life. I regret.
But that's different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about. That's a whole different thing.
But
like things you've done in your life that you regret. That's different than what I'm talking about. Like there are things, things you want to do that if you had the ability to do them, not like crazy, never in a billion years going to happen, but something realistic. You just don't want to sit there, you're too old to do it. And you're like, well, I'm not going to bother just because it's too late. Not because of kids, not because of finances, just because it's too late.
You know what I regret? I wish I learned how to play an instrument.
Well, didn't you? I thought you taught yourself.
I tried. I learned one song on guitar, one string, Happy Birthday or something.
Oh.
I just can't. My fingers, I don't know, the thumbs.
Yeah, you know what?
I can't figure it out.
I've tried because I've got some really nice guitars and I can play like 3 chords and I can never manipulate my fingers fast enough.
That's the problem. It's
we got
sausage fingers
short,
that we
fat
have.
fingers. That's dad.
Right.
That's dad.
So I want to learn how to drum, but again, you've really got to be focused and just spend. So that's why I do. I focus on juggling. I really want to juggle.
And Steve can play just about anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
And he can spin anything on his finger, chair. So I mean, he got all the gifts, I guess. That's all.
No, I had the voice. I mean, my voice
Really?
was my instrument.
Why haven't you done Music Man? I don't understand.
What do you talk? What do you talk? You got trouble, my friends.
Oh boy.
No, I'm not going to do it. All right, Ralphie.
All right.
Good
That's it
talk
for another
tonight.
week.
Little eye open. I think Mom and Dad will appreciate some of the dirty talk because they always look forward to that.
I try to throw a little bit there for Mom and Dad. Dad really appreciates it, I think.
Yeah, well,
Mom.
why doesn't he hit the like button? I don't understand.
Can you hit the like button from
No,
where
you
he
can't.
sits?
Not on. You can only do it on the laptop. You can't do it on the. Well, I say that. I'm not.
No,
really,
you can on if they knew how to manipulate.
Well, they don't even know how to get to it, let alone hit the like button. I
Right,
have to go over there and guide them. But I don't care because they're our biggest fans.
There are two biggest.
That's right.
Do they just keep watching it over and over? Is that how we're getting our 12 views?
That's okay. If it makes them happy, that's good with me.
Right.
All right, Ralphie. Well, listen, have a good week, everybody.
You too.
As always, if you haven't subscribed, like it, share it. I know that we talk about our families a lot, but I'm sure it's no different than your families. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk to you next week. Everyone stay safe. Have a great week. Ralph, have a great week.
Have a good week. I'll talk to you next week.
Yep.
Over and out.